We are approaching the last game in Week 5 of the NFL. Monday Night Football features the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. So, joining me today on Hitting the Books to break down the best bets for this matchup is New York Post sports betting reporter Erich Richter. Erich, how you doing? Is your Week 5 betting going good so far?
Week 5 betting is going better than the Mets played this weekend. So that's good.
Well, that's good news, not for Mets fans, but definitely for you. Now, Erich, for this game, the consensus spread here has the Chiefs as 7-point favorites in this one. Looking at the line, how are you going to bet this game?
To be honest, I'm pretty surprised that we're still at 7. It opened at 7. I was hoping I'd get to 7.5. But so far we're looking at a 7 at pretty much no juice, minus 105, plus 100 being hung out there. I kind of like that 7 number. I'll be honest. Any lower than that, I would say that the Raiders are not worth a bet. But if you can get a 7.5 at around minus 120 or a 7 at no juice plus 100, say that's probably your bet for tonight. Obviously, the Chiefs are a powerhouse, but you got to look at what the Raiders are doing last week. It seems like they found something with that run game. 28 carries for Jacobs last week. He had two rushing touchdowns. I would say that that's the best way to beat the Chiefs. Ball control, keep the ball out of Patty Mahomes' hands, and it seems like they found something last week. So I would say Raiders plus 7 would be the play. And if you can get it at no juice, plus 100, minus 105 at the absolute worst. Otherwise, you're probably looking at a pass.
All right, there you go. Raiders plus 7 in that one. Let's look at the over-under. Consensus over-under for this game is 51.5 points. We know Mahomes and the Chiefs, they can find the end zone. So for those looking at the over-under on Monday night, which way should they go?
Well, last week when I came on here, I said Denver Broncos and the Colts, prime time unders. What happened? Prime time under. Denver Broncos and Indianapolis Colts didn't even score a touchdown in that game. So then we go to the Sunday night game and we get the Ravens and the Bengals, two high-powered offense. What happens? Under by a lot. Again, teams are struggling to score when the lights shine the brightest. 51.5 is a huge number. And just a little bit of history lesson here. Patrick Graham, former defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, finds himself with the Las Vegas Raiders. Patrick Graham held the Chiefs to 20 points last week. So I would say the under is probably going to be the play here. I think that Josh McDaniels knows from his time with the Patriots the way to beat the Chiefs is to run the ball up the middle, and it is to stop Mahomes from running it down the field up and down and wearing out your defense. So I'd say run the ball. Patrick Graham had a pretty good strategy last week with edge blitzing. So last year with the Giants with edge blitzing. So I would say you're looking at the under 51.5. It's a big number, and primetime unders are 11-4 this year. So I'm going under.
Good number there, 11-4. The primetime unders. Bang that under there, folks. Now, Erich, we know some people, they might not want to touch the spread or the over-under. So if we're looking at props, what's your favorite prop bet that you would take for this game?
So we have a newsletter here at the New York Post called Post Picks, and Post Pick of the Day, give you guys a little secret, it's not out yet. Josh Jacobs over 15.5 carries plus 100 for the star running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's a stat. He is the 6th most carries per game in the NFL. He's 17.5. He rushed for over 130 yards last week. Overall, when you include run blocking and Josh Jacobs and all of their running backs, Pro Football Focus ranks them as the 2nd best running team in the NFL. All of their running backs included. I would say that is going to be your play of the day. Jacobs over 15.5 carries. You could go touchdown if you want. He's plus 130 to get in the red zone. Chief defense isn't terrible. They're ranked 10th by Pro Football Focus. So I would say that you're probably going to be looking at overall for the game. You're going to be looking at the under. You're going to be looking at the Raiders plus 7, maybe plus 7.5, and then Josh Jacobs continue with that strategy of running the ball up the middle. He had 28 carries last week. So I'd say 15.5 at plus money is a hammer lock spot to target.
There you go. If you want your Monday Night Football bets to be better than the Mets were this weekend, listen to Erich Richter, sports betting reporter for the New York Post. Erich, thanks for joining me on Hitting the Books.
Dex, big night. Let's get it.
There we go.